Hey everyone! Today, I'm going to tell you a truth you probably didn't learn in history class. The dark secret of how the British Empire was really built. You've always been told it was founded on fair trade and hard work, right? Well, let's not sugarcoat it. The British Empire was built on theft. And I'm not talking about petty, Bacalli robbery. I'm talking about grand, state-sponsored piracy on a global scale, personally overseen by the Queen herself. In this video, you're going to see how England turned pirates into national heroes and how stolen treasure laid the foundation for an empire. So, let's jump in a time machine and go back to the late 1500s. Who's the world's superpower back then? Spain and Portugal. Their massive galleons are hauling gold and silver from the Americas, a treasure worth trillions in today's money. It's literally a river of treasure, and it's making Spain seem unstoppable and England. At the time, it's a poor, weak, and humiliated island kingdom. Queen Elizabeth I has no massive army and not nearly enough money to take on Spain head. And this is where one of the most cunning plans in history comes into play. Elizabeth basically says, if we can't outproduce Spain, we'll just steal from them, and she makes it official. She starts issuing documents called letters of marque, which you can think of as a license to steal. With this piece of paper, a captain is now a legal pirate. His job is to attack Spanish ships, seize their cargo, and bring the loot home. The crown gets a cut, the investors get rich, and the crew makes a fortune. Just like that, piracy becomes patriotism. The poster boy for this operation was, of course, Francis Drake. History books call him a heroic explorer who circumnavigated the globe. But his voyage around the world was basically one long, carefully planned robbery spree. Picture this, in 1579, off the coast of Peru. He captures the Spanish treasure ship, nicknamed Cacafugo, or Shitfire. It was loaded with 26 tons of silver, gold, jewels. An unbelievable fortune. It took them 6 days just to transfer all the loot to his ship. When Drake returned to England, his investors saw a 4,700% return on their money. The haul was so massive that Queen Elizabeth, who was a secret investor in the voyage, used her share to pay off England's entire national debt. And to top it all off, she boarded his ship and personally knighted him. Can you imagine that? The pirate who paid off the nation's debt becomes Sir Francis Drake. And that was just the beginning. The next generation's star, Henry Morgan, basically turned this into an industry. In 1671, he led the sack of Panama City, one of the most audacious raids in history. He burned the city to the ground and returned with wagon loads of treasure. Technically, England was at peace with Spain, so he was arrested and sent back to London for going too far. But instead of punishment, what did he get? A knighthood and the job of lieutenant governor of Jamaica. In other words, the state was saying, "Well done, pirate. Great job." You see, this wasn't random crime. It was an organized financial system backed by the Queen, nobles, and wealthy merchants. Think of it as an early form of venture capital. High risk, enormous reward. That pirate capital is what fueled England's economy, strengthened its navy, and gave it the seed money to become a global empire. So, why should all these pirate stories from centuries ago matter to you today? Because the logic of the system never changed. Only the tools did. Does any of this sound familiar? Back then, states hired pirates for risky jobs. Today, they use private military contractors. Back then, the wealthy legitimized their gains with letters of marque. Today, they use offshore accounts and tax havens. Back then, they fought economic wars by sinking ships. Today, it's sanctions, trade wars, and cyber attacks. The uncomfortable but true lesson from history is this: the powerful will always rewrite the rules to benefit themselves. Queen Elizabeth had no problem making a pirate a national hero to pay her debts. Do you really think today's giant corporations or financial institutions hesitate to bend the rules when their survival is on the line? That's why real wealth isn't just a number in a bank account or a promise someone gives you. Those things can be frozen, devalued, or seized overnight. Real wealth is your independence, your skills, your knowledge, and assets that can survive when the system's rules change. Because history shows us, again and again, that whenever a state needs money, it finds its pirates. Sometimes they sail ships. Sometimes they run banks. If you liked this perspective and want to find more modern answers hidden in the pages of history, don't forget to follow or subscribe. Until next time, take care.